Greetings and thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you joining me today. I have a question for you. Why is it that healthcare professionals will tell you if it hurts, don't move it, but then proceed to move the very thing that hurts in their office? My name is Dr. 𝗪𝗛𝗃𝗏. I am a doctor of physical therapy and a chronic pain specialist. And I want to tell you that for the very beginning of my career, I actually did the same thing. I actually moved the very thing that hurt. So if somebody came in with a back injury and they had strained their back, I was moving their back. If somebody hurt their knee, I was moving their knee. And then I discovered that that's not really even necessary. If people hurt and you start moving what hurts and you make it hurt more, it's not getting better. In fact, you're irritating the very thing that they came to see you for. So what I discovered in my research and my continuing education classes is that we can move areas of the body that don't hurt to fix the area of the body that does hurt. Now think about this for a minute. If an animal gets injured in the wild, what do? They lift the leg that hurts and they use the other three legs to propel themselves forward, to move around, to survive. They let the area that hurts recover because they're using the areas that don't hurt to move. And that's exactly what I like to teach people now, because I've discovered that if you think about the body as having 4 quadrants, so you have an upper side on one side, you have an upper quadrant on the other side, you have a lower quadrant on one side, and then you have a lower quadrant on the other side. If the upper quadrant on this side is hurting, you can actually use the upper quadrant on the other side, the lower quadrant on the other side, or the lower quadrant on the same side to help the injured side or the hurting side feel better. And why does that work? Well, it works because tissues are going to either be shortened or they're going to be lengthened. Now, I don't like to necessarily use the word strengthening and stretching. Most people will think, oh, if I shorten a muscle or if I shorten tissue, it's going to contract and it's going to do work. Most people would think that if they're lengthening a tissue or a muscle, that it's going to be stretched. But here's the thing, there's other tissues in the body that don't contract and that don't get stretched. For example, nerves, they don't like to be stretched. If they're pinched or they're stretched, they get even more irritated. Ligaments, they're not muscle, they're not stretched. They can either be lax or loose, or they can be taut to protect a joint. And then there's fascia. Fascia is connective tissue that holds everything together. It's shortened or it's lengthened in the sense that when we move, that connective tissue is dynamic. It's going to move with the area that's moving, but it's not contracting, it's not stretching. So I like to use the phrases lengthened and shortened because we might not be talking about muscle, which actually does the contraction and shortens to do work. And we might not be talking about muscle that's being pulled and stretched. We might be talking about other tissues of the body. And that is why when an area that hurts is forced to move and work more, it often makes the situation worse. However, let's just take an arm movement. Let's say it hurts to bring the arm up on one side, and it hurts to do that. Well, that arm is shortening, the muscles are shortening on the area that's doing the work, and they're lengthening on the opposite muscle group. But it hurts either way. So how can we make that better? Well, what if we move the other side? So watch what happens. This is the side that hurts, and I'm constantly irritating it by moving into a range that's painful. But if I do this side is actually, the injured side is actually indirectly moving, even though I'm not doing work on it. When I do this, my shoulder drops down. That may be an influencer to help that feel better. When I do this, this side is getting lengthened. This side is indirectly getting shortened. Now, it seems so simple, but what if that is the movement that helps us feel better? I'm only saying that we should be considering the possibility of using different areas of the body, just like the animal does when the animal gets injured and it's limping around, it's taking pressure off of the injured leg and using the other 3 legs or the other 3 quadrants to make the injured side feel better. It's something to think about. If you want to learn more about that, go ahead and comment me or private message me, because I am telling you, when I started using this technique of working the side that doesn't hurt or finding pain relieving movements to fix the painful movements, I started getting amazing results. It actually revolutionized the way I worked with people. And to the point where 95% of people who work with me and work uninjured or pain-free movements to fix the painful movements, they feel better by 30 to 50% in the first 30 to 45 minutes. It sounds crazy, but look at the injured animal. They get better because they're unloading the very thing that hurts, and they're loading or working or moving the areas that aren't. So we have unlimited possibilities to move in pain-free movements to help the area that hurts move better and reduce pain. I hope this helps you consider some other possibilities, and if you've been struggling with chronic pain and you haven't been getting better, reach out to me and try this new way of doing things. In fact, you can even go to my website at www.wellness-track.com and take a free chronic pain assessment, or you can even sign up to join the 5-day Get Your Pain Gone Challenge. I encourage you to do that because there's no need to keep moving the thing that hurts and making it hurt worse. I hope that helps. Give me some feedback, put some comments below, and I'm super excited to hear from you. Thanks a lot.